Before you lose up on her, see how most men give up too soon because they think they have lost the fight. When she retreats and stops responding the way she did before the conflict even started, you think it's over. But what if I told you that this is really your best chance? What you will be in a position that most guys never achieve if you follow my instructions. So watch this video before you quit up. Let's begin with the first cause of her withdrawal. When a woman becomes aloof, most men freak out because they think she's lost interest, moved on to someone else, or just doesn't care anymore. But the truth is far more complex. You could change anything without pursuing, pleading, or sacrificing your dignity if you could do so rather than giving up. She really loses the sense of the pursuit. There was intrigue, excitement, and challenge when she first met you. She tries your ability to manage your emotions now that she is aware of how you feel and can anticipate it. Women's emotions develop gradually throughout time. They don't suddenly cease one day. Women are naturally interested in your reactions to emotional shifts. She wishes she had more time to feel anything. Do you remain composed, panic out, or overreact? Attraction is created by emotions and tension between people, not by words. Everything loses value when it is always available, and this is where most men fall short. When she does, they push harder rather than back down. Since she no longer has to earn your attention, if she doesn't have to, she won't enjoy it. The attraction wanes as they text more, call more, and make more of an effort. The second quiet test is this one. You didn't know this at all, yet the majority of men. Her senses are alert when a woman pulls away, even if she doesn't always plan it. Miss Hole questions if he has the emotional capacity to deal with this, whether he will pursue me or defend himself, whether he really has choices, or whether he is only acting. The dangerous phase comes next. She starts to experience an unanticipated sense of sorrow when she sees how guys who pass this test and really stand out behave differently. They don't pursue. They don't respond emotionally. They don't ask for explanations. They simply maintain their place. The power of controllable distance is something that most guys are unaware of. When she ignores them, they text again. She takes longer to reply. They inquire if she's all right. She cancels arrangements, and they immediately attempt to reschedule. This is how most guys fail. Absence attracts women more than presence. The less you give, the more you value what you get. The most effective thing you can do is to pull back at the right moment. Instead of texting her first, wait instead of liking her posts, ignore them, or change your schedule for her. Because when something is always available, you stop noticing it. But when it disappears, you start craving it. Prioritize yourself because everything changes when you stop being predictable, being too easy to reach, and reacting right away. She starts to notice your absence and wonders why he isn't reacting, whether he has lost interest or whether he is seeing someone else. The moment you stop giving freely, she starts missing you for. What should she do instead of pursuing him? Most men try to fix situations like this, thinking that maybe if I explain myself or show her how much I care, she'll return. But attraction doesn't work that way. Don't overcompensate, draw back, and remain neutral if she's aloof. If she reaches out, reply, but don't overinvest in how to manage it. Does this fit her energy? Most men make the terrible mistake of accepting her return too easily. After a week of her disappearance, they suddenly text, "Hey, what do you do?" They take advantage of the opportunity. This is how to deal with it. Don't pretend that her communication is the best thing that has ever happened to you. Instead, be calm. Let her earn it instead. Since she disappeared, she has to prove that she is serious about coming back. Get better command of the tempo. Avoid reverting to past habits. Give her space before focusing on her excessively once again. She will respect you more if you do this because she will understand that she cannot take you for granted. Read this if she never comes back. It's all right if a lady doesn't come back. If she does, she's simply saving you from spending more time with the wrong person. Most men will never comprehend the power of silence because they think they must argue, defend themselves, or battle for her attention when she begins to distance herself. In actuality, however, silence conveys more information than words ever could. It engenders mystery, ambiguity, and a change in emotional strength as the days and weeks pass. She suddenly realizes something is different, and that's when everything starts to change in her mind, because you're no longer the guy who always checks in or waits. Instead, you've disappeared from her life, leaving a void that she wasn't expecting and forcing her to reevaluate her feelings for you. 14. She might not even notice at first because she believes you'll come back, check in, text, or try to make things right, because most women think that males are always available and that you will always be waiting for them. Regardless of what they do or how much they take away, they undervalue you until you stop talking. Why wouldn't they? Although most men find it hard to accept a woman's distance, it irritates her expectations when you don't act like other men and choose to remain quiet rather than pursue her. She starts to question, why isn't he responding? Why hasn't he made an effort to speak with me? Is he really letting go? She asks herself a question that never occurred to her before as a result of these thoughts. Did I misjudge him? Most women aren't prepared for the emotional roller coaster that one question alone sets off. Most men stop too soon, so they miss the time when she starts to notice you're not there. She seems okay at first, and she could even feel happy that you will soon be returning to her. But then all is quiet. Not a single phone contact, message, or social media interaction. Weeks go by, and she starts looking at her phone more often, but nothing changes. Now, when you aren't chasing her, everything changes, and she recognizes for the first time that she is the one who is hesitant and questions if she made a mistake. This is a fact about the unspoken law of attraction. Since it's difficult to replace someone who is constantly present and accessible, most guys don't realize how much a woman appreciates you. She never had to fear losing you, but it's unnerving that she's starting to sense your absence. She starts to question if she miscalculated your value and whether she took you for granted. It occurs naturally and instinctively because anything loses value when it is constantly accessible, but when it goes, it becomes a mystery, and mystery creates desire. The greatest part is that she isn't even aware that she is doing it. Why had she resumed watching you? Once the silence has been created, she does what most women do, which is to keep an eye on you, go over your past correspondence, and check your internet activity. She could even start like your posts again to see how you react, since she's looking for information. Was he really gone from me? That question keeps her interested in you, since the possibility that she lost a man who had been faithful to her makes her feel things she never expected and makes her reevaluate everything. She starts to feel the effects of your absence at that time. 18. The little hints that she's conducting experiments. At this stage, most guys fail because they fall for the bait as soon as she tests them. She may text you about something meaningless, reply to one of your posts, or give you a random hi, but in reality, it's her way of checking in with you. The game resets if you respond too hastily or excitedly, confirming that she still has you. She knows she can still have your attention whenever she wants, so she loses interest once again. 19. This is the most important time since everything depends on your response at this point. You may either stay composed and let her try to get your attention, or you can revert to your old habits and give her a sense of control. Because you've changed and are now a challenge, and women love challenges, the second choice is what keeps her intrigued. Most guys consider it a win if she contacts you after you've been silent because they believe she returned and I can resume my usual behaviour. You must understand that you should focus on your own life and objectives rather than being the person who is always accessible and pursuing. You earn her respect and become someone she has to strive for when you give her space and allow her to miss you. This is what creates long-lasting attraction. Become the kind of guy who doesn't need to pursue you to win a lady. You do this by setting expectations, showing her that you value her time, and making her prove she is deserving of your attention. At that time, everything changes because you are now in control, not via games or manipulation, but by self-respect, and that is what divides the guys who are played from the ones who are not. Women seldom forget that they will eventually feel your stillness rather than just notice it when your silence becomes unbearable to them. At first, she brushed it off, thinking you would ultimately give in and send a message trying to reconnect. But now she's experiencing something unexpected. Your absence isn't simply a little annoyance, it's influencing her feelings. She checks her phone, hoping to see your name, and she finds herself going back to earlier conversations, trying to remember if she saw any signs that you were slipping away. And as time passes, she starts to question whether she pushed him too far, whether I was wrong about him, or whether he was really gone forever. Not only is she missing you, but she's also discovering that she lacks the control she thought she had, which drives her crazy when she starts looking for you in other men. This is the secret that most males are unaware of. The fact that people begin searching for what they want elsewhere when they are unable to get it is among the most fascinating features of human nature. Even if she doesn't completely understand why, women try to fill the hole left by you not reaching out. The fact is that none of it feels the same, even if she could start messaging former partners or posting things online to attract attention from new people in the hopes that you'll respond. She begins comparing as soon as she attempts to replace you, and no matter who she talks to, she loses because you've turned into a mystery. When it comes to missing someone, women have two sides. The emotional side, where she experiences yearning, sorrow, and loss, and the ego side, which despises loss and prevents her from being the first to completely acknowledge her emotions. She plays games instead of making an honest effort to connect. She could, for instance, text you at random and say, "Hey, I hope you're doing well," hoping you'll fall for it and start talking again. She becomes more aware that she is simply making matters worse for herself the more she tries to ignore it. Because she can't tell whether you're really over her or if you've merely perfected something that most guys never do, the real struggle begins when you don't respond. Even though she may post suddenly about how happy she is, how she's moved on, or how wonderful life is to see how you'll respond, she secretly hopes you're still looking and that you'll let her know you're still interested in her. The game-changing detachment. When she finally understands that you were the prize, it's detachment that crushes her ego. The painful thing is that she discovers this too late because by now you've matured and changed into a man who doesn't wait for her approval. She knows you weren't just another guy, someone she could hang out with forever, or someone who would wait forever. She suddenly understands what you already knew. The true worth was not in her approval, but rather in your capacity to go since you now have the upper hand, and she is left wondering whether she will ever have another opportunity. What to do when she gets back? This is the point at which most men fall back into the trap. They react too fast, seem too eager, and give her the precise confirmation she was looking for from the start. You can't play this the way most guys do, so if she comes back, you have to stay grounded and appear like a man who doesn't mind. Just because she messages you doesn't mean you should become her whole universe. Don't go back to the ways she used to take you for granted. Let her earn it instead. If she really respects you, she will show it by her deeds, not just her words. And if not, you've won the game since you've finally come to the conclusion that you never needed her in the first place. Instead of pleading with her or pursuing her if she lets you down, focus on yourself, move on, and let your silence do the talking. This is exactly what you need to hear next. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, and watch the next one.